I am of the pure mind of God. I am the resurrection and the life in my body, my finances, my relationships, and my world. I qualify everything in my world with perfection. I am perfection. I am this perfect day, and the life that lives in me is the light that cannot fail. I accept only God's perfection, His good, in my outer circumstances. I know in my heart that God is all in all. I am absolutely not concerned about what happens, because I know wonderful things are happening now. Hey, it's Matthew. So in this video, you're going to hear me talk about fitness quite a bit, and I think you're going to like it, because I'm going to give you everything from A to Z on how 15 years of fitness experience for me can come together in a few simple golden nuggets that you can take and transform yourself into your leanest, healthiest, strongest version yet. So the picture that I'll show you in the video, I'm 41 years old in that picture, and I'm at the best shape of my life. I'm 43 today, and because of quarantine, I guess I put on an extra 10 pounds. However, I'm taking it off now and just teaching the same technique that I'm using in this video, and it's effortless. It reveals your most sculpted self, and it works in harmony with the law of least effort. I think you're going to appreciate it if you like to get the best results in the shortest amount of time possible. I want to talk to you about getting ripped, getting in shape. So here we are. I'm going to walk on the sand here. Haven't done that in a while. Take you for a journey into my paradise. So I came up with this concept, and I'm going to talk to you about the nutrition plan and the training schedule. And if you stay till the end, I'm going to let Reverend Sabrina show you the water vortexing and how to create the water of life. It's the water of life. So the concept I came up with is called Steak and Shake and Bake. It's a version of intermittent fasting. It's an intermittent fasting with a modification where it's closer to OMAD, 1 meal a day. So if you're not familiar, I do have an OMAD group that has about 37,000 members in it, and you can go to omad.me and get support in this group. I'm going to start posting in this group and start being active. I basically just let it grow organically. I didn't do anything other than be the moderator. But 'tis the season, and I'm going to start talking about how this can benefit you spiritually, mentally, physically, all the above. So, steak and bake and shake. I just want to tell you, it's my regimen here is about having the things you love every day and not denying yourself, but just having it done in a certain way where it's conducive to your goals. So my favorite thing is I love shakes. I love vanilla milkshakes. And so I'm going to come up with a perfect recipe for a protein shake. And I'll show you how I'm going to make that later in the video. I love steak, so I'm going to have a steak. Now, given there will be days when I'm not going to buy a steak every single day, and that's the case, I'm going to just substitute it for maybe going to get a steak wrap or something with triple steak, double steak, whatever. And so essentially, yeah, I'll be buying a steak, but I'm not gonna, buy the big expensive steak and cook it every single day. It's not really practical. I'll substitute from time to time, but I love steak. And the third thing is bake. I am a fanatic for donuts. Donuts are like the most perfect food in the entire world, in my opinion. Sabrina laughs. She says, you should have been a police officer because you just love donuts. Okay, well, you could call me a spiritual police officer then. I'm a spiritual police officer. I'm policing the religious community by being the open, like as Steven says, who comments on our channel, I'm the Gnostic that's out in the open. One of the very few that's willing to be out in the open. Most of them are hiding behind the scenes, pulling the strings. But since I've had the privilege of working with some of them and I've gotten the opportunity to discover the teachings, well, what the heck? What the heck? Why not just put it out there? Most people don't want it. Most people want ignorance. So there's no competition. There's no crowd that's going to be stampeding. The herd doesn't stampede towards enlightenment. So that just came to me. The herd doesn't stampede toward enlightenment. That's okay. But we are still here to love and to bless all who come into contact with us. So, along the journey that I've been on in the past year, it's been heavily evolving, but it's also been picking up all the pieces from what has previously been put out. I have been working more and more and more on reflecting peace to my outer world no matter what happens, reflecting peace. It's really critical to do that, because if you get stirred up inside, that means that you are getting in the way of the inevitable blessing, and you're essentially denying your good. So an example of that is, an example of that from my personal life is I've had relationships in the past that have fallen out, and I'm sure you have as well, because we don't walk in the highest wisdom and integrity until we know that there's no other choice. Once we know there's no other choice, because God has gotten a hold of us completely, then we have to do it. Because, well, we are captivated by divine love at that point. So I've been cleaning up things that I used to steer clear from, because I didn't want to revisit those places. And it's not that I did horrible bad things, it's just that, if you have a fallout with some people or someone, you typically want to just go forward and never speak to them again.
Hello, I'm Shen with Allow Ministries. If you are new or just getting warmed up to this material, here's a great place to begin. Use the groundbreaking tools ABC break process, safe touch, and self-entrainment technique. These are the original spiritual millionaire workshop trainings. Matthew David discovered these techniques being bedridden and bankrupt. To develop a 7-figure business and today train like a pro athlete. Within a few minutes, you'll receive the first technique, ABC break free, followed by the next one, safe touch, 5 days later. Lastly, you'll be invited to learn Matthew's most powerful skill set to shift the vibration. What he believes to be true is you can occupy parallel universes now. This technique is called self-entrainment. You'll be invited to be personally mentored by Matthew David to master this once-in-a-lifetime skill set. Look for that text to arrive in 10 days. Matthew David has streamlined the learning curve to offer you his best material for rapid life transformation at the pace that works. It's a 30-day investment in yourself to achieve the inner game of permanent abundance and vitality structured as daily techniques to build your life strategically on a solid foundation that prospers you for all your days. It's a legacy to learn, profit from, and even teach to your loved ones. To navigate an ever-changing world with timeless and changeless wisdom, now it's your turn to rise above your circumstances and prove that all power is within you. Now to the number below and begin your fast track journey to your best life ever. No matter what the outer circumstances seem to be, you can master your world. Starting now.
And, go on with your life. But instead, I've been sending love and finally adhering to love thy enemies. I know, right? I've been ministering for years. You see, the human condition is very fragile and it's very cunning because the ego is slick. The ego will tell you that, it's in your past, don't even worry about it. But you see, what happens is these tracks will recycle. And what I mean is like German New Medicine says that you will find yourself experiencing the echo as the waves of yesterday come back to revisit you, because the purpose of all of life that you experience in the outer is to qualify it with perfection. So you are here to qualify all of these experiences through the heart. That's where the issues of life come from. And it's so easy. We be the love that we want to see in the world, even toward the ones who we believe should not even deserve our love. Maybe they're just flat out bad people. Okay? Now, there's no such thing as a bad person. But there is people, hey, this dog was coming to check me out. That's a good looking dog right there. Big dog too. Good thing I don't have fear. He might have came after me. So, there's no such thing as bad people. There's just bad intentions that people willingly fall in line with. So anyway, little rant there, but steak and shake and bake. Intermittent fasting, okay? Now, I like to do it from a spiritual basis. As in, why am I fasting? Okay. The reason why I'm fasting is because I don't want to let food be a god. It's not my master. It doesn't support life. You see, if you believe food supports life, then you're setting up an idol. And yes, there have been many people that have survived without stuffing their face every single day. Now, the good news is with the fasting and even the OMAD is that you don't have to deny yourself days and days and days of sustenance. You just have to deny yourself of the temptation to constantly take in sustenance because you're bored, because you're upset, because. So we want to rein it in. So it looks typically as an 8-hour window of eating and then a 16-hour of complete fasting from all calories, from all, you know, beverages, juices, everything that you, candies, everything that you slide down your throat hole on a daily basis, except for water. And you can even take it further and go for a dry fast, but I'm not into doing all of that while I'm training. I think that's crazy because I do train every day. So what I'm doing is taking the intermittent fasting, and in the beginning, you know, for the first week or so, it's the 8-hour window. The 8-hour window where you're having all of your calories. And if you want, you can hit your macronutrients. So what I do is I come from the top down. I try to hit my proteins first and then bring it down, let the others fill in, making sure that I get in enough good fat. That's really it. And creating a calorie deficit. And if you create a calorie deficit, a slight calorie deficit, this is a secret. You should be doing like maybe 500 calories a day of a deficit. Okay, probably at the most 600, because you want to slowly and gradually taper it down so that you don't create a rebound effect and you don't create what they call the yo-yo dieting, where, you know, oh, I got to lose 7 pounds this week, and then you go and do that, and then you have 10 extra on by the end of the month, and you wonder what the heck happened. It's because whenever you exert a lot of force into something, just think of a pendulum. When a pendulum swings aggressively in one direction, the counter force wants to come back the other direction, and you will run out of force. Willpower will deplete at such a dramatic deficit, and that pendulum will swing back, because the body, the consciousness of being body conscious through the reptilian brain, is going to sense a starvation conflict. And when it does, then it's going to order you to not only consume, but to carry and pack on more because of fear of deprivation. So it's going to order up more calories, you know, storage of heat energy units on the body, and it's going to increase hunger. So your ghrelin and leptin levels are going to go haywire. Now, what I do that is sustainable, and I've done this in the past to maintain really, really low levels of body fat percentage for long periods of time, till I get bored and I want to do a bulk cycle or something again, or just take a break, which there's no problem doing that. You don't want to be the same way all the time. But for a long period of time, I did for almost 18 months straight, I had a 6% or below body fat. Pictures are in my book, Ask Until It's Given. I was 172 pounds. I'm about 190 now. 172 pounds, veins coming up through my stomach. And basically, I did a modified version of what I'm going to teach you today, and I'll even teach you the modified version as we go forward. So you'll get a lot of value in this, because I'll give you the psychological understanding, and I'll give you the physiological, biological, and not deep, you know, I'm not here to give you all of the intricacies, but I'm here to tell you the simplified way of how to work it and how to make it work for you. So number one is ease. You know, when you ease your way into it, then you rapidly move into it. That's the secret. Is that by going slow, you end up going fast. So you could write that down if you want to take notes. By going slow, I achieve fast results. Whereas by trying to rush things, okay, I end up sabotaging myself. So there's your choice right there, which way you want to proceed. So we talk about the slight deficit, okay? Now, the way that it works really easy is by condensing it into a smaller eating window. And this is why the intermittent fasting, going more toward OMAD, what I do is about a 3-hour eating window. Okay? Now, the 3-hour eating window, 4 at the most, 4 hours is like a really, 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 really aggressive intermittent fast. And I make it into my OMAD. And the way that I do it is, the first thing to do is, example, the training. Okay, the training is not going to be, running sprints with my weight vest on like I was doing when I was eating regular meals all day. That's not necessary now. I've already got the muscle on my body that I need. Now it's time to shred it down and see all of it. So assuming it's your season of just shredding down to see all the muscle, and surprisingly, you probably have more than you think. So don't worry about bulking insanely, because you probably have more muscle on you than you could imagine. You just have to reveal it, and it looks bigger when you get cutter. When you get more defined, you look bigger. The light hits you and reflects off all of the cuts, and it just shows the chiseled physique, and it looks massive and small at the same time, which is the ideal proportional range for aesthetics. If you care about this stuff. I'm not saying you have to care about this. But again, I tie it into a spiritual thing where the reason why I'm doing it is to master the realm of that brain that wants to consume and be attached to this world. And the scorecard are the results that I achieve. It's the same thing I do with money. I don't really care because I have the kingdom. I can demonstrate money at will on command. I know the laws of prosperity. I teach them at my website, MatthewDavidHurtado.com. I can demonstrate on command income, money. That's why when it comes in, I usually just give it right out. Like, I don't treat it the same way I used to, is what I'm saying. So same thing applies with food. So the way that the OMAD works for me, this 4-hour window, is the first thing is the training is long walks. So this is what I want to submit to you. Walking is the king of exercises when you're sculpting. Walking. Because it does not drive your hunger levels or your cortisol levels. Cortisol is the fat storing hormone, so if you go gangbusters and you overtrain too much, you're going to drive those levels through the roof, and it's going to cause you to want to sabotage because of the hormonal changes in the body. You're going to be hungrier, you're going to be way too tired, and your body will counter by resisting and disallowing you to lose the stored energy. That's why I said going slow gets fast results. I'm literally going slow. I'm walking at a very comfortable pace. So the way that I do it is key number 2, okay? Key number 1 was going slow gets fast results, a slight deficit, okay? Key number 2 is your caloric deficit is what creates leanness and chiseled appearance, not your training. Okay? Now, that does not mean you starve yourself again, because going too fast creates sabotage. Your body will fight against you, and it will cause you to be ravenous and to eat more, or you'll create some sort of psychological imbalance like I used to have. Years and years ago, I had to overcome eating addictions, and I did. Now, the thing is that was because it was an all or nothing mindset. I thought that, hey, if a caloric deficit of 500 calories is good, then let's make it 2,000 a day. And I'll just burn. Well, that's insane. So drop that attitude altogether if that's you. Okay, the purpose of life is to enjoy every single minute of it. And when you're walking around doing that to yourself, there's no joy in it. Even when you get lean and shredded, you're miserable. You're cursed from the beginning because you're operating against yourself, not for yourself. So key number 2 is to create the caloric deficit. Okay, caloric deficit equals chiseled body, not workout. You cannot overtrain a poor system of managing your food, how you consume. Okay? And so, walking for me to create the caloric deficit, that's the only reason I care about it, is I will do about an hour to 2 hours a day. Period. Do you see what I'm saying? So 1 to 2 hours a day while I'm fasting. Plenty of water, plenty of hydration. Don't want to do anything crazy and stupid. But while I'm fasting, I ease my way into caloric deficit. So 2 hours of walking will probably burn about 800 calories. 1 hour of walking will burn about 400 calories, give or take. Okay, give or take. I have a Fitbit, they're somewhat accurate. You can use that stuff if you want to. So now, the next thing is breaking the fast. So technically I have breakfast, breaking the fast, when I begin my period of OMAD eating. So that is going to be about 6 o'clock tonight. So at 6 o'clock, I will not have a huge, gigantic meal. That is crazy, and it can wreak havoc on your metabolism if you're not trained for it, because what happens is your body is really, really sensitive to the insulin at that time. And I'm not saying like in a diseased way, but you can have up to 6 times the amount of insulin response if you go ahead and crush a massive meal just out of the blue after fasting for such a long period of time, and including adding on the training, which for me is the walking, the gentle walking. It's still training. So I tried this before. So the next key is you break the fast with something very tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Like you can have a couple bites of a banana, or you can have, a few bites of something. I recommend not necessarily crushing a big steak or a big piece of protein. That seems to be hard to do. And what I mean by that is I've tried it and I've gotten completely exhausted with an insulin spike where I just pass out, literally. Now, that's why you break it easily and gently. A couple bites of something, preferably with some carbohydrate. Those are what break down into sugars in the body. Okay, the fastest are the carbohydrates. Protein will also break down in the body in that way, but it has a different metabolic pathway. So you want to use, an example is, I might have like 1 fig Newton. I love fig Newtons. I might just have a fig Newton to break my fast. Then I wait 1 to 2 hours. 1 to 2 hours. Now the reason why is because now my body has broken the fast. It's primed, okay? The insulin, everything's ready. Then I go crush it. So then I go for the steak and shake, okay? Now that is pop it out on the table, okay? The big sirloin and the shake, it's gonna be a MINERALIZE formula or something that I whip up in a blender, and it looks like a big frothy shake. So it's my favorite foods, just prepared in a way that are conducive to my goals, okay? And then I'm going to, at the end of the day, I'm going to bake. I'm going to make my protein-rich donuts that are void of the bad fats, the ones that you don't want to take in your body, a lot of the high predominant omega 6 and 9s. So the omegas are pretty important, especially for your metabolic functioning. So you have omega 3, 6, and 9. And we have about I believe a 20-to-1 ratio or something in the standard American diet that we eat today, where it's very heavy in 6 and 9. And what we need more of the omega 3s. I can't give you the whole talk about why that's important today, but you can look at the work of Dr. Joel Wallach or anybody who knows what they're doing. And all I'm saying is I'm going to prepare these with a higher quality oil. Okay? I'm going to use a really, really high quality oil. Okay? I'll repeat that again. When using oils, use really, really high quality oils. It's one of the very, very important things. You know, when I studied health years and years ago, because I had to, there was a book by Raymond Francis, best-selling author, and his book was called Never Be Sick Again. He's an MIT-trained biochemist, saved his own life while he was on his deathbed, too weak to move, lift his neck up. He discovered to save his life with a shot, like a scoop of vitamin C. It prevented him from complete liver failure. That was what was happening. And then he said that all of the research that we need to maintain perfect health and to reverse all of these so-called dis-eases, speaking, biologically, of course, we're looking at the body in terms of a physical structure. He says we even have the knowledge to do it in that way. Okay? Now, I like to go, meta. I like to go above that. I like to go to the spiritual realm and work down and know that God never created disease and that I'm not the reflection and the image and likeness of any disease. And then I work my way down from there. And that seems to have a very, very potent effect. So what I'm saying to you again is the book that Never Be Sick Again. 4 things that you want to avoid: dairy, processed oils, sugar, and white flour. He said if you would remove those things from your diet, just that alone, period. Don't even do anything else. Dairy, bad oils, heavy in the 6 and 9, low on the 3, low quality, etc. Mostly everywhere you go to eat, all fast food contains superfluous amounts of soy. And the only reason they feed soy to people is probably the same reason they feed it to livestock, to make the animal as fat as possible. That's incredible for the profits in the sickness industry, okay? And if you don't think everything's tied together, then you haven't, witnessed reality for what it is in the corrupt state. So what I'm suggesting to you is that the OMAD system, the way that I'm going to show you how to make it work in just a moment, continuing on this build that we've already discussed, is going to change your results dramatically. Okay? Now what I want to do is I want to segue into the part where I tell you now what my strategy would look like on a workout and a walk day. So while I'm cutting, I will only work out 3 days a week. The reason why is because I do not want to raise my cortisol levels too high. That's your stress hormone that keeps your body from releasing fat. It holds on to fat. Okay? I don't want to disrupt that. I don't want to drive my hunger levels up through the roof so that, wow, I trained like a beast today, but holy crap, I had to eat 17,000 calories because I'm so hungry. I'm never satisfied. No, I don't want to do that. Okay? I'm giving you secrets that, okay, I've walked the walk for so long. I've had a six-pack for, I don't know how many years now, maybe 4 or 5 years straight. Even in the off season, when right now, I'm 190 pounds, I still have a six pack. And this to me is my heavy point. So I'm gonna give you the tips of how you can do this and work it out so that it works out. So you can manage the day to day. It's not that complicated. So 3 days a week is enough. And during those 3 days, I'm going to do a split routine. Okay, I'm gonna do, maybe one day will be chest and shoulders, okay? Chest, shoulders, and tries. Let's just say chest, shoulders, and tries. The next day will be legs, and the next day will be back. And then what I'll do is I'll sprinkle in just some ab exercises here and there, some stabilizing, stretching, etc. The workouts are going to be short and intense, not long, no marathon workouts. Again, I do not want massive cortisol spikes. I do not want my hunger levels to raise through the roof, and I will not do more than 3 days a week. So the example training would look like this. Chest day. I go in and do incline chest because incline creates the whole muscles. If you work the incline of your chest, the bottom down will fill in automatically. So I will do a pyramiding set up. Warm up, okay? Then after the warm up, one moderately heavy set. Then immediately from there, I will go into a 4 to 6 rep range max set. Okay, 4 to 6 rep range max set. So for me, that'll be about 275 pounds. I'll do 4 to 6 reps on the incline bench. And I'll do that one time, and then I will do it again and see if I can raise it 5 pounds on each side. If I can do it again and I can get 4 to 6 rep ranges, I will raise the weight again an extra 5 pounds. And if I can do it again,
Hi, my name's Peter. I came across Matthew one day. YouTube served him up as the next video, and I wasn't really paying attention, and I heard him speak, and I found myself saying yes, yes, yes. Everything he said I was saying yes to, so I thought I have to figure out who this guy is. So with my quintessential New York skepticism, I looked him up, and I engaged Matthew, and we started working together. And I have to say that for me, Matthew's more like a teammate with a strategy than a coach, which I like. I feel like we're in this together. I mean, he's very intuitive. He uses intuitions to figure out what from his large cadre of tools that he has available, what would work for what's going on at that point. He's not a magician, so you have to do the work. And so I did. I showed up, I did the work, and I have to say that without a doubt, that my business is better than it's ever been, and my life is better than it's ever been. And I think that Matthew has played a significant role in helping me get to that point. And I look forward to working more with Matthew going forward.
if I can do it again, then I will do it again. And I will raise the rep range or raise the weight an extra 5 pounds. I will do that up to 5 times if I keep getting increases. Now, because of the lessening of the training, my recovery time is much longer. My strength is probably going to improve for my max lift. My endurance is probably going to go down because I'm getting leaner and lighter and I'm taking in fewer calories. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go heavy in that range until there's a breakdown. Example, this is for all lifts that I do. All lifts look like this, okay? Let's say I warm up, okay? First thing is just get the bar, move that bar for the form, make sure that the seat's adjusted properly, etc. prepare myself psychologically that way. Next set, 145 on each side, that's 135. Okay, I'll just pump up like 5 nice, easy reps. Nothing crazy. That's just to get the blood flowing. Next set, 225. That's another 45 on each side. Pop that on. Pop it up about three times. Okay? Now that is not to fatigue myself, because that is not the max lift, okay? That's not in the max rep range for me, because I could probably do that 12 times if I wanted to. Okay, that's not the goal. The goal is just to feel the weight. Now, I'm up to the top of the pyramid. So for me, my rep range from 4 to 6 going into that strategy at this current time would be 275, adding another 50 on the bar, 25 on each side. So doing that, I will get between 4 and 6 reps. If it happens to go well and I get 5, 6 reps, I'll put a 5 on each side. I'll do that. Try it again. If I fail and I get 4 reps and it's really, really hard, then what I will do from there is I will drop the weight to 225 and I will do a descending set. Okay, a descending set 1 time. Okay, not 25 descending sets. There's no point in all that volume, because the goal of building muscle is just to reach a peak and to tear the muscle down and use your caloric deficit to reveal your new muscle. While it rests, it grows. So the old idea of working yourself into the ground and doing 5 million sets because you can is doing nothing more than overtaxing your nervous system. That's it. That's all you're doing. There's no point in doing it unless you have a reason and it's for a specific type of training or sport or something you're doing. Other than that, there is no reason for it. It does nothing other than wear you down. And it will also affect your hormone levels, your serotonin and other levels of brain chemicals if you overtrain, and you'll become depressed. It's not the way our bodies are designed. So the way that our bodies are designed, like the way I'm teaching you how to train, is very simple. We need to move more weight to recruit more muscle fiber, period. Once we've done that, then everything else is just a formality, just for shaping, contouring, and getting that overall appearance that we want. So after that, okay, after that incline, I'll just do a few sets of dips, okay? Now again, that's just contouring. So when I do dips, that's just to contour the lower. I've already broken down the muscle tissue and I've recruited fibers to bring in to the upper chest. Now I just contour the bottom with a few sets of 10 to 12, okay, nice, good, slow and steady, accentuating the eccentric motion, which is the opposite of what most people do. They believe that the lift is the most important. Your lift should be explosive, okay? So your lift should be an explosive boom, like that, never locking the joint completely, but an explosive, and then the eccentric is the down, that's the extended. So boom, okay, it's 1, pause, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, like that. That is the way to contour and shape and to lengthen and build long, sexy muscles. Now that I've done that, I have completed the entire chest. Now I do biceps, or not biceps, but triceps and shoulders. Same type strategy, boom, done, out in a half an hour. 3 minutes between each set. Okay, so that type of training is short, it's fast, it's explosive, it recruits muscle fibers, and again, you're not trying to work out and overwork a poor strategy of, food consumption, whether it's too little or too much or too often, okay? So this is the law of least effort. And the law of least effort gets you the most results in anything that you do, because it's the way that nature operates. It operates according to the laws of nature. So on the lift day, what I will do a lift is when I break the fast, okay? When I break the fast, because I am lifting that day, I can have more sustenance. So when I break the fast, let's say I'll do a fig, and I will probably throw a banana in to give me some carbohydrates for fuel, and drink an amino acid workout drink an amino acid during my workout to supply myself with aminos while I'm training the muscles. Then when I'm done training, I go crush the big meal. Go crush the steak and shake. Okay? So I would break the fast. And if I break the fast, I wait about half an hour. Hi there. And then after half an hour, I go to do my training. I train short, fast, break down the muscle. I'm not exhausted when I leave. I'm actually feeling better than when I came in. That's the key. I'm not leaving it all on the table. I'm actually leaving a lot in the tank. Now, I go crush the meal, and then I give that some time, take the time, bake, go through the process of making the food, the ritual of doing that, coming out with the protein donuts and having that nice, sweet, delicious thing, okay? Giving myself permission to have something that is usually forbidden. That completes the process. And now when you look at the total picture, the calories that I've taken in versus burned is going to be a deficit. And that is how you slowly and rapidly build an incredible physique by applying the law of least effort. So if you'd like to work with me personally on customizing your plan, you can do that. And I'll work with you and mentor you, not for free, obviously, and not for a lot of people, because I'm usually don't do much of this coaching anymore. But if somebody has a real specific need outside of just giving all this information away to you right now, which is so simple, then I'd be more than happy to talk to you about how I could serve you and help you. And your investment will be in a lifetime of achievement, because you'll be able to gain this through the experience of doing it that will last you a lifetime. And there's nothing more rewarding than having a plan that works and executing a plan based on a strategy that will produce and yield the most effective results in the shortest amount of time possible. So that's my goal. That's what I like to do with everything. And that's what we'll do. Now, I'm not soliciting you on this. I don't care if you do it or not. That's not my main thing. But if you follow my work and you think, well, I wish you would just walk me through it. And the reason why I say that is because I have a few good friends, very successful, and from time to time they come back to me and they want to hire me to do this for them again, because I have a way of getting through, and I have a way of keeping people accountable, and sometimes that's what they're essentially paying for. They got the knowledge, they know what to do. In fact, they've probably done it before, but there's something about having somebody that you have to report to and that will keep you in line and inspire you and help you where you're stuck, because somebody on the outside always has perfect vision. They can always see if they know what they're doing, what you're doing wrong. Sometimes for some people that's worthy of their investment. So I'll make myself available. I know my mom always comes to me, usually like once a year. And my mom's been doing so well. I'm super proud of her. She, has had fibromyalgia, and she has had issues and this and that, and gotten through a lot of these things and gotten a lot of the weight off of her body, and it's really great. And there's nothing more, again, nothing more rewarding. I know I'm the spiritual guy, and I know I talk all about spirit and this and that, and I do, and I live by it. But the thing is there's nothing more rewarding, again, than having a plan, executing your plan, you see, in a way that is manageable, sustainable, and produces the fastest amount of results, the best results in the shortest amount of time. So that is the basic overview. That's what I'm doing. So fasting, consuming the foods that satisfy, and I'm going to give you now a real amazing tip. I'm going to give you a tip that is light years ahead of where most everybody is, but some of the best fitness trainers in the world practice this and know this, is that you should eat the same food at the same time every day. Why do you suppose that is? Because distraction births failure. That's a spiritual principle. And if you're always distracted by too many options, it takes you off course, and before you know it, you end up consuming all over the place, and you just lose focus. Because distraction breaks focus, and it births failure. So for the first month, at least 3 weeks, you should eat the same thing at the same time every day. Period. Now I know that sounds unreasonable, and people, I'm not going to do that. That's crazy. I'm not going to eat the same thing every day. What's wrong with you? Well, okay. Well, you think that your animal meat sack is any more than the animal meat sack of the dog or cat that you feed the same thing at the same time every day? Why don't you go feed your dog or cat all kinds of extra foods and give them a variety of options and all sorts of things? Because you'd make them fat. You would ruin the animal. You would destroy the thing. See, the way that the animal works is this. You have cravings, hunger, and fullness levels. Okay, this is how the biological system works. This is how the meat sack with that reptilian brain operates, is that cravings first. The body craves what it eats. What you eat, you crave. What you crave, you eat. It's a loop. It's a cycle. It feeds on itself. You want to dial that in, because I'm going to show you how to turn it up. The next thing is hunger. You program when you eat by programming the time and training the body. And then it becomes hungry at that time. You're conditioning yourself. The next thing is fullness levels. So the way that this works is, and you'll find, is that when you do this, eat the same thing at the same time. Example, 6 o'clock. I'm going to have that fig. I love that fig. Boom, broke my fast. Okay, 6 o'clock comes around on a training day. Ooh, I got that fig again. That's my anchor to start my day. I'm anchoring my body in to know it's that time again. So I have my fig, and I slam that banana. Now I'm in the flow, okay? I'm ready. Okay, 8 o'clock comes around. It's steak and shake, baby. It's steak and shake. I can't wait for that steak and shake. I want that steak and shake. You see, I'm craving it. I've programmed it. My body wants that. Okay, 10 o'clock comes around. Ooh, I gotta have these donuts. I want these donuts. Basically, I'm having a long one meal feast every single day. Eating like a king. Having, where you go to these restaurants where they serve you different rounds. The first round is they bring the samplers out. You sit, you talk. And I'm kind of going medieval. See what I mean? I'm hunting and gathering all day. And then I'm going medieval feast and drink till my belly's full at night. The way that our human meat sack bodies operate the best from. So then, my body wants the same thing at the same time, and then as I ration it down, okay, get this, if I will be so bold as to take away a little bit of my portion size, it makes me, get this, way more addicted to that food at that time, thereby annihilating all urges to deviate from my plan. And that is a body hack that very few people know about or are willing to share with you, if they do. I don't want you to believe me, but if you have faith to trust that I might be telling you something, because I've done it, and I can say I've done it so many times, multiple times, since my 20s. If you're willing to do it, you'll see for yourself. So watch that part again till you totally get it. You might want to watch this again and again and take notes and just get everything I've laid out. You know, fitness was my old passion before I found ministry. I was obsessed with fitness and abs and bodybuilding and all that. That was my obsession. I lived it for so many years. I'm giving you the jewels, all in this video, the best of the best. This is the highlight reel of the best of the best. These are hacks. These are all hacks. So, with that said, I'm going to wrap up this, and I'm going to teach you now about the one thing that your metabolism needs more than anything, and that is minerals, the currency of life. And then we're going to take that currency and we're going to spin it through a magnetic vortex and create what I call the water of life. Now, once again, I'm going to challenge you not to take my word for it, but to try and see for yourself. Now, what I will do with these is I add these in with my big meal every day. I don't take them on an empty stomach because the fulvic minerals can have the consequence of, for some people, giving them a headache if they don't have anything in their stomach to digest it and absorb it. You know, it's not that you have to absorb it, but you have to have some food with it. And that really eliminates that potential side effect. Other than that, it's really minerals, and minerals are so critically important. So I take these with my big meal. So teach you about how to make the water of life. Try it and see for yourself. All right, see you guys in that section of the video. Hey, it's Matthew David Hurtado, and listen, this here is something that I put together, and I learned it from a couple of my mentors. I'll show you some links below if you want to do all the research and you want to satisfy your mind's desire to know how everything works. But in short, I'm going to tell you that your water is one of the most important things you can do. And there is something you can do called vortexing your water. And if you add the appropriate minerals in there, and I use my company's minerals from Complete Essentials because they are ionic angstrom size, and they have fulvic acid in there. You see, these are like volcanic minerals. You have to use the right type of minerals, and what you can do is you vortex them. And what happens is, if you've ever seen a tornado, when a tornado spins, the actual qualities that are inside the vortex of the tornado can change. That's why a piece of straw can end up sticking through a glass in a tornado, because when you create a vortex, it's a scalar device that we've created. We've created a scalar energy device. And what happens is that this spinning action through magnetic fields, it's important that you use the right magnetic fields, it actually creates ormus. Ormus is monatomic elements. So your body has chakra systems, electrical, bioelectrical systems. Now, it's a proven fact, according to most health professionals like Dr. Joel Wallach and Raymond Francis and all the guys that I've studied and learned from in my over 10,000 hours of research when I got myself well again, that we are all deficient in minerals because they're not in the soil. And minerals are, according to Dr. Wallach, the currency of life. Now, monatomic minerals are some of the most important ones because the monatomic ones, they're interdimensional minerals. They have the ability to activate the nodes, and the nodes are those collective hubs of magnetic, just magnetic hubs in your bioelectric field. The ancient wisdom, of 3,000, 5,000 years, the meridian systems, the Chinese Ayurvedic system, they all understand that this is all part of your chakras, your meridians, your bioelectric system. See, it's only in the West where we have this dumbed down version of how the body works and we look at it only as a mechanical, physical meat sack. In fact, when you look at quantum physics, we are energy. So anyway, to make a long story short, I have magnets here. You can see on one side, they are pulling each other. So it has to be through a perfect cross intersection. So from this cross intersection, I have magnetics, and these magnets are actually pushing each other away. So they're pushing on this one. And then on the other side, the magnets are pulling towards each other. So you have a push-pull through the center, and that creates a vortex as the middle piece spins, just like you see in a tornado. And what happens is if you use volcanic minerals like fulvic acid and the stuff that we use, it will create ormus. And ormus is, when it's naturally created like this, they are superconductors. Now think about it. Since you are a biomagnetic energy vortex field, you're a human scalar device. If you want to raise your frequency, then you take ormus in the right way. It's a lot better to get ormus natural this way and put it in water because your body is mostly water. So I put in 5 dropperfuls of each of these. And this is what I do before my run. And it's a side bonus. Part of the reason why I stay so lean and so muscular without carrying a lot of body fat as of late is because I've been doing intermittent fasting and rotating that with ketone-based eating. So I do low carb, high fat, and moderate protein, and that allows me to keep my insulin levels in check. But as part of a low carb program, it is absolutely essential that you have electrolyte minerals and magnesium. So these are 2 of the most important supplements for everybody across the planet, no matter what diet plan you're on. But if you really want to get ripped and shredded, I can show you that in another video. Anyway, so what I do is I have 5 dropperfuls in here. Now, I'm going to turn this on and I'm going to pulse it and it's going to spin, and you have to let it spin for about 15 to 20 minutes. So make sure you have a good blender, and your blender has to be square shaped. You can't have a round shaped blender because, again, you want to create this perfect center point right through there and then a center point right through there that meet right in the middle. And you see these magnets are pulling and these magnets over here are pushing. So this is how you create an Ormus device at home. And trust me, you will feel the difference. I get about 30 to 40% more efficiency on my workouts when I put this type of water in my body. So this is how I work out in a fasted state. I stay at 6-7% body fat, and it's effortless. But not only that, this raises my vibration through the roof. Ormus can activate your chakras, your nodes. It's a superconductor. I'll give you some research links below so you can do all this homework yourself. But you can make one of these devices and use the minerals because the minerals are what activate the water. We've already done the homework. These minerals from Complete Essential are the cat's meow. These are the real deal. These are what I've been using for years, and I never miss a day without fail or exception. So anyway, I'm going to vortex this water for about 15 to 20 minutes, and that just means I'm going to run it and let it spin. So this is how you're vortexing it. Turn the power on. Let me see, I better plug it in, and that might help. So let's plug it in. Okay, so now it's plugged in. Turn the power on. Okay. Okay, I'm having issues with my blender here. Is that plugged in? I think it is. All right. There you go. Now I got it on. And you can see the power light is on. Now I can pulse it. And that's it, 15 to 20 minutes. So, I'm going to do that for 15 to 20 minutes. And then I'm going to drink half of it before I go out and do my run. And then after my run, I'm going to drink the other half. And this, you can feel the difference. The water texture, when you're done with it, is like fluffy. It's like fluffy water. And you start to feel this radiating buzz when you drink it. You feel like your bioelectric circuits are lightened. Like you become enlightened is what I'm saying. But I can't tell you and make any claims, so let me give you the disclaimer here. I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to heal, treat, prevent, cure, or diagnose anybody's disease. This is designed for entertainment purposes only, but trust me, if you want to experience the same type of vibrational high that I do, give this a try. It's very cost effective. The minerals, I mean, you got to take minerals anyway because you're not getting them in your diet. It's not in the soil. And minerals are the currency of life. And disease, according to Raymond Francis, best-selling author of the book Never Be Sick Again, he talks about how deficiencies and toxicity are the root cause of cellular malfunction, and cellular malfunction is the disease process. So minerals, 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 they activate all the other nutrients in your body, and they are the currency of life. This is the most important health discovery that I've found in terms of the supplement space to date, and I've been doing this since I was 19 years old. So anyway, I got the minerals in here. I'm going to vortex this. I'm going to drink it, and it is going to set my day on fire. Note, I just vortexed this for about 3 to 4 minutes, and I am going to add in my greens powder that I use, and I'll put a link below if you want to see what greens powder I use, but this is for phytonutrients. And if you do this, if you mix it with the minerals, remember minerals activate all of your other nutrients, and they're like sparks for your cells, and you need these minerals because of the currency of life. But if you put your other ingredients in here and mix it together, this is much more potent now because we're going to vortex it and we're going to create it in an Ormus water, and it's going to make the phytonutrients even more effective. So this is what I do, and this is how I get through my intermittent fasting part when I go and I do like my 5-mile run with my sprints or even a 3-mile, whatever I'm doing. I consume this, and it allows me to stay satiated with nutrients so that I can keep burning fat residually, especially if you're going to do a ketone-based diet like I'm doing right now. It's like the latest thing. If you haven't heard about it, check it out. It'll burn fat like crazy. You got to have these minerals, and you also got to have these other phytonutrients. And if you do it in this way and you structure your water through a vortex, a simple device you can make at home just like this, it will set your world on fire. Let me just tell you that. Check it out, try it, and feel the difference. Notice your vibration getting higher and higher, and that's the big thing. If you want to manifest, raise your vibration, and that is the secret.
Hello, I'm Julie with Allow Ministries on behalf of Matthew David Hurtado. Are you ready to end self-sabotage, procrastination, and distraction? Clarity, certainty, and a proven plan of action is what it takes to get anything you want in life. Training is the answer. Matthew David Hurtado's Spiritual Millionaire Workshop is the one-step solution that finally puts you in control of your destiny. What Matthew discovered about building a 7-figure business and perfect well-being when he was bedridden and bankrupt with Lyme disease is that mentorship is success without the wait. It works. At allowuniversity.com, you'll discover how to walk in victory. Learn how to prosper in every area with unstoppable daily habits and a step-by-step training to build your dream business immediately following the event, a success training for a lifetime of achievement. Walk in financial increase, living a life you love. Go to allowuniversity.com and say yes to your destiny.